All right, hey guys, welcome back. Another maybe monthly vlog. Although I am basically doing these every month, so they could just be monthly vlogs. But happy 2024. I'm still writing 2023 down when I'm doing stuff at work, so hopefully by the end of the month I get close to actually being correct on the year. But as always, I want to start these videos off by thanking everybody for checking out my videos. I've got a lot of positive feedback and reception on the champion stuff, so it's been really great. So I've been appreciating that. Hope everybody had a good 2024. I just kind of want to use this opportunity to talk about, what I want to see from this year, kind of what we want to do for the next few months when it comes to legendary and champions content, and just want to hear from you guys about different stuff. So I'm going to kind of segment this video off in a couple different subjects, and so we'll start with more of a legendary. So as of now, we've been playing through the what if episodes of legendary, or for legendary, for season 2. We've done, as of recording this, I've recorded 1 through 8. I have not done 9 yet. I'll probably do it later today. And we're releasing them basically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from this past, for 3 weekends, like 3 weekends in a row. So we've already done the first 3 episodes. We're going to be doing next weekend, or this weekend, I guess, if you're watching this on Monday. This coming up weekend, we'll do episodes 4, 5, and 6. And then the weekend after, we're going to do 7, 8, and 9. So I think it puts us at the end of January. Yes, that puts us basically the 28th will be the last episode. And then the following Friday will be the first Friday in February, the 2nd. So we're going through those. I had to take a little bit of creative liberty in some of the playthroughs, given that we just don't have the cards or the heroes or anything like that for those specific setups, namely Cohorty. So what I did was, and you'll see this coming up, but basically I took characters that kind of replicated her powers to use as her for the playthrough. And that, it works to some extent, but I think at some point, and I've mentioned this before, I probably would like to go through all of the MCU playthroughs and maybe redo them to make them more fitting now that we have a bigger card pool and more heroes that could easily reflect those characters. So I'll maybe work on that sometime this year, just here and there. I've had a couple comments about the keyword series that I was doing. I need to get back on that. So that's a goal of mine to get those out for the rest of this year. Those will just be one-offs here and there when I can get them. But I may start working on some of those over the next couple of months and try to get those out. Just do all the keywords. Maybe I could do it before Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, because I think I've done a decent number of them so far. So we'll look into that, but that's something I want to get by the end of this year. I know that sounds like a lot, but by the end of this year, to get all the keyword videos done. And it may sound like it's not a big deal, but it ends up being, I don't know. It's, for me to sit down and play a game is much more easy, and it's just easier for me to do. So, we'll work on that. And then as of recording this, Echo is already released. I've watched Echo like 1.8 times. So I watched it all in one sitting the night it came out. And as the night went through, I stayed up way past my bedtime. I go to bed pretty early. And I started to doze off towards the end. So I got kind of like weird about some of the show because I was like kind of in and out of consciousness. But my partner decided to watch it, and so I joined her in the part way through like the 2nd episode and watched the rest of it with her. So I rewatched mainly the parts that I didn't remember as well. And I think I'm gonna do something similar for Echo in terms of like using characters to kind of match the powers that she has, but I don't know who to use yet. So without spoilers, I would appreciate some suggestions. I think I can figure everything else out for it, but yeah. I don't know. But that will come out likely February 9th. Give us about a month after Echo releases. So that playthrough for that show. And of course, I'll give my thoughts on the show. My preliminary thoughts were that I like how basically I feel like Echo is like a comic book, like a one-off comic book in terms of a cinematic piece of material. Like, character shows up, like, oh, that character's cool. If I want to know more, I can go read this comic book. That's what I feel like Echo did, and I think they did that very well. But I'll get into specifics on the playthrough itself. but I don't know who I want to use yet for that. So any suggestions would be appreciative. I do mention this in some of the what if playthroughs that are happening. So even if I've decided that question is going to present itself later, so it just how I recorded stuff, didn't know how I was releasing things. So, but with that being said as well, with the addition of Echo and they used a lot of Daredevil Netflix stuff to promote Echo. Disney has added the Defenders series all in the Marvel Sacred Timeline on Disney Plus, which means all that stuff is now presumably MCU canon. And I thought that I went back a long time ago and did a playthrough of some of the Netflix stuff. I found one that I did inspired by Iron Fist Season 2, but I thought, if they're canon to the MCU now, we have all those characters, do we do playthroughs for all the Netflix stuff? And my thought was, I want to know what you guys think, but I thought about doing that and at least getting it all taken care of before Daredevil Born Again comes out. And so we could at least intersperse it throughout the year, because we won't get Daredevil Born Again until next year. Till I think like spring of 25. So it's going to be a while. So we've got time. But I wasn't sure exactly how to do that. Whether it be, do we do a playthrough for all of Daredevil, all of Jessica Jones, all of Iron Fist, all of Luke Cage, all of Punisher, and Defenders? Do we do a playthrough of just Defenders and it just be all of them? Because I watched them when they came out. I think Daredevil Season 1 dropped in like 2014. So it's been like literally 10 years. And I think they all ran to 2018. So that's been 6 years. Like, it's been a very long time. I'm going to look, actually. I mean, I suppose I could do an entire... It says the last one... Okay, no, it was April... Okay, it was April 10th, 2015 to June 14th, 2019. So, 5 years... 9 to 5 years ago. It's been a long time. So, if there's anything... If you think... That's a lot of content. It's 3 seasons of Daredevil, 3 seasons of Jessica Jones, 2 seasons of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, 2 seasons of Punisher, and a season of Defenders. Now, I'm not totally opposed to doing a playthrough per season, but it just seems like a lot of content. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But I want to do some of that stuff. I think just to kind of put it into the continuity of the MCU playthroughs, especially if I'm going to go back and re-record some. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think is the best option. My main leaning right now is doing a playthrough per entire show, because it's still quite a bit of content without being too much, and it will require me not to have to go back and watch everything, which is a lot to watch. But let me know. And then, speaking of that, we have Deadpool coming up, of course, and I thought leading into Deadpool, it would be fun to go revisit all the X-Men stuff, because we're going to obviously see a lot of the old X-Men stuff, especially like the early 2000s X-Men stuff, the Hugh Jackman and, the like X-Men, X2, Last Stand. Would you guys like to see playthroughs of those kind of leading into Deadpool 3? I need to do Deadpool 1 and 2 anyway, but I thought at least so I've done a New Mutants playthrough just as a one-off kind of fun thing, but I could go back and do everything, but that's also a lot of content as well. So you've got the 3 X-Men films, you've got the 3 Wolverine films, you've got the 4, is it 4 future Days of Future Past. I know there's Dark Phoenix, First Class, and Apocalypse. So there's 4 of those movies, which seems like a lot. And then there is the 3 Wolverine movies. There's the 2 Deadpool. I don't know how many. There's a lot of movies. So I thought at the very least do the original X-Men trilogy and doing the Deadpool films. If you guys want to see anything else in that realm, let me know too. But kind of just, it's a pre-game Deadpool 3. And we've got time, because that's July. And we won't do the playthrough until August. So it's a very long time from now. But that's kind of what I was thinking, to sprinkle those in throughout the year as well. And it'll kind of give me an opportunity to go back and rewatch some of those things. I rewatched Last Stand a few weeks ago. I I probably need to watch it again just to make sure. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And as always, I mention this here and there, but, I do like viewer suggestions. So I do have one that I have coming out that somebody suggested. And, I always appreciate those. I actually find those a lot more fun because I like the idea of this challenge of like somebody saying, hey, you should try this, see how well you do. And I always like random setups in general because I like the idea of here is a set of parameters. Can you succeed with given those parameters? And like, you've got a system like the base rules or whatever, but then you change out everything else you can, and you're like, given using these specific, this specific base, can you succeed given these, changeable variable, these variables. So that's why I always like just random in general. But I do like even more when you guys suggest stuff. So if you guys want to see anything specific, just let me know, and I'm more than happy to try it out. You want to see something stupidly hard or like incredibly broken or whatever, give it to me. We'll try it out. It'll be fun. So yeah, that's how it is. I think that's all I've got for Legendary so far. I think we're obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't come out, and I don't think we're going to get 2099 very soon. So, when those come, we'll deal with them. We'll play with them. But until then, we'll just keep it moving with what we got. So, let me know what you guys think of what I've talked about. And, yeah. Now, on to Marvel Champions stuff. Had a lot of fun with that. At the time of recording this, I've gone through basically everything from cycles 1, 2, 3, and 4, so it's up to Mad Titan Shadow. I have, if you look back here on that shelf where there's Arnak, that's all, next to Nature Incarnate, that's all Marvel Champion stuff that I have not opened. So to current day, I own all of Marvel Champions. Got it all. But obviously I haven't opened it all. Probably later today I'll start opening Sinister Motive stuff. But so far I've recorded playthroughs up until February, like all of February. So I've got a playthrough for once a week until then. And at that point it's going to only go up to Mad Titan Shadow because that's all I've opened. But the formula that I've kind of settled on so far, and it's not to say that we're going to do this forever, but kind of what I've settled on so far is doing a hero and an aspect and having a different one every week. And I want to go through basically a playthrough with every single hero. So that I have a playthrough with a hero. So if somebody wanted to see, like, how does Spider-Man play? How does wrong game. How does Photon play, or Spectrum? How does Ironheart play? So on and so forth. You can just, I've got a playthrough for that character. I've got at least one for everybody. And that's kind of the goal. And it's just with an aspect I think is good with them. But so far, I've been able to do one of each aspect. That may change as we go down the line, but that's so far what I've got going on. I'm not winning every single one, which I think is interesting, just because from the fact of if I try and I lose, you guys can see that. Because I tried to win every game of Art of Legendary, and it just sometimes doesn't happen. And I think it's good to see losses and understanding how you could do things better, given, when you lose a game. So, so far, yeah, that's what I've got going on. I'll probably open up the rest of this weekend, into Sinister Motives and go through that stuff. I did want to give a special shout out to two people in particular, Get Up in Game and Peter, and I don't know how to say your last name, and I don't want to mispronounce it, so you guys, know who you are. But there's just been a lot of really good commentary on my gameplay from the both of you, and it's been awesome just to see, and it helps me learn, and I really appreciate, being very new to the game, I may not see things as, some people that have been playing for a while. So it's cool to just kind of get that insight. And as the game, I'm sure if you look 6 months from now, whatever I'm doing is going to probably be better than what I've been doing now in terms of just understanding and looking for stuff. Because I already feel like I'm getting better. So I really appreciate you guys just giving that feedback. It's been awesome. So not to say I don't appreciate everybody else. I appreciate everybody commenting and engaging with me in the comments on all my videos. But just because the Marvel Champions stuff is very new, it's been really welcoming, and I've appreciated a lot just seeing a lot of really good commentary on my playthrough. So thank you guys for that. My kind of thought was after we get through all the characters, which is going to be a while, because if I only do a playthrough a year or playthrough a week, it's going to take about a year to get through everybody, and that's out of the current roster. We're getting 6 more characters this year at the very least, with Apocalypse coming out, and then the characters coming with that cycle, and but I think at one point I'd like to do a campaign, and I actually want to do I want to switch out the modulars in the campaign because I also think that's a lot more interesting. So we may do campaign playthroughs and not do a month, into next year. We'll do spend a month doing a playthrough of the Hydra campaign and a playthrough of just whatever, and picking a hero and just running through with that hero and just seeing if we can beat the campaign. I think that's fun. So that's kind of something I want to do, but that might not be till later, end of this year into next year, depending on how we do stuff. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it's been great. I've been enjoying myself with Marvel Champions and been playing a lot of it. So with those things being said, that's obviously the big focus of the channel are those 2 games. But of course, given that we play solo games here, we're going to be doing some more of other stuff. I know just given how much Marvel Legendary we're doing this month, we're going to wait to do any more other games until February. I've already got recorded a playthrough of Castles of Burgundy versus the Chotama. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the automated opponent for the new version of Castles of Burgundy. I got that for Christmas, so I decided to do a playthrough of that, which I really enjoy. Castles of Burgundy is a very interesting game, but it's one of those modern classics, so I had to cop it. So, get it. So we've got that coming. I want to do some more things. I kind of want to come back and do some other stuff. I have I know that sometime in February, I think the next Imperium game comes out, so I want to get that and do some stuff for that. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to do that are other games. So if there's any games that you guys play and you're oh, I'd like to see Wars do a playthrough of that, that's not obviously these 2 games, let me know. There's a chance I might have it, and we could do playthroughs for that. Or if you guys want to see additional playthroughs of some of the games I've already done on the channel, let me know. Somebody did suggest wanting to see the next scenario in Cascadia, so we'll probably continue to do those. And I've also got the DLC, the Cascadia expansion. So I'd like to do some playthroughs of that just because I've added more scenarios. But I haven't messed with it too much because I want to get an insert for the game, and it's kind of a mess. So we'll get into that at some point. But yeah, I think the main thing is also I want to do some more Spirit Island this year, especially because I started out doing it. I have a video I recorded. Good Lord, how long ago was it? I have a video that I recorded that I just haven't ever uploaded. I recorded this video of Spirit Island. Let me see. Properties. On September 4th of 2023. So it's been 5 months ago. So I want to do that, and so I want to get to Spirit Island, and of course we could do playthroughs of that. I love that game. The game's fantastic. When I got Spirit Island, I played the mess out of it. So I ended up getting a game, playing a ton of it, and then kind of setting aside. But I want to come back and revisit Spirit Island and do playthroughs of all the spirits. So that'll come this year as well, but I haven't figured out exactly when I want to fit those in. Generally, Fridays is Legendary, Tuesdays is Champions, and Sundays another game. But depending on if I get back in the groove of Spirit Island, that may just get added in as a weekly video. Basically, this year, like we've been doing, it's just going to be more content. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And, I know not everything's for everybody, so even if it's not a game you're particularly interested in, I know for me, when I follow some of the people, if it's a game I'm not interested in, I don't watch it, and I totally understand that. But there have been times where I watched a game and oh, I didn't know that I liked this. So, if a game even seems somewhat appealing to you, check it out. Doesn't hurt. And if you don't like it, just turn it off. It's cool. But yeah, that's kind of what this year is going to look like for me. As of recording this, I'm at 922 subscribers, so I would like to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, which I think is a totally reasonable ask. And I don't do this in all my videos, obviously, but I'm going to do it here. If you do watch my content and you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I think, it doesn't cost you guys anything, and, get me closer to 1,000. And I think it'd be cool to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So, With all that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support you've been giving me. Really, really, I was a little afraid coming into um, the part of last year of deciding to add in more games to the rotation, just because I very, very much was like, let's do just Marvel Legendary. And I know, like, again, I know not every game is everybody's cup of tea, but just having that um, feedback. And I think, when was this? When did I do the first? I did. It was 7 months ago. I did that solo playthrough of Literati, and then I started doing other stuff. It's just been really cool to see you guys, um, you know, just embracing that as well. And I don't know why I thought this, that like everybody that watched me just played Legendary. Like, it's because I only play Legendary until like beginning of 22. I only played Legendary, so I thought, okay, if anybody's like, that's nobody plays any other game, like, I'm stupid for that, so I'm sorry. But this is a big thing for everybody. So we're all enjoying all these games. So you know, it's just been really, it's just made me feel good to know that, like, you guys are watching that stuff too, or you guys enjoy that stuff too. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Again, thank you guys so much, and yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys soon with more What If. Bye bye.